Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Venus retrograde reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm see that you appreciate this channel, and it helps me out tremendously. So thank you so very much. Also, if you're interested in a private reading, a meditation, an animal healing, I am open to private readings. My website is open, so check that out in the description box below. That's just really exciting, and I'm so happy to be able to share all of this with you guys. Also, if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will also be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy that we have to be mindful of during this Venus retrograde. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. This is the Six of Cups. We can really be living in the past, okay? During this Venus retrograde, which is from the 22nd of July to the 3rd of September, we can have a tendency to live in the past, to have things be better once upon a time. So just be aware of that can be highly detrimental, highly. It can make us very nostalgic. It can make us very melancholy. It can just pull us and make us feel like we're moving backwards, or we're not moving anywhere at all. So just be aware of that. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. Here we have mystical reversed. We need to get in touch with the mystical again. The spiritual, or just the magic, the beauty, whatever mystical means for us, however that sparks joy within our lives, we need to start connecting with that. That's a very beautiful thing, but we've gotten out of connection with our own mystical being, and now it's time to come back home. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, so all major arcana cards, which, I mean, I think Spirit said at the very beginning that this was an intense time for us, but it is absolutely coming across that way. We have one court card, which is the Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We then have the Fool. We have the Moon, which also represents Pisces energy. We have the Hermit, which represents Virgo energy. And we have Judgment reverse. Our world is becoming small, okay? It's not in a bad way. It's not in a mean way. It's in a sense of, right now, we need to focus on our hearts, not everybody else's hearts, our hearts, our world, building ourselves forward. And we're going to think, wow, how selfish. It's not selfish. It's going to be really, really, really super important. So let's talk about this time, astrologically speaking. Venus retrograde is a time to reconnect with what's in our hearts and ask ourselves, are we honoring our relationships, and are we being honored in our relationships? This is a 40-day period to reflect on our relationships, to see if we're moving forward or if we're moving in the direction that we want. The Fool is showing us that we need to move, we need to connect, we need to embrace, we need to open up the door. It's an intense time, but it's not a bad time. You know, we can think, oh, Venus retrograde, everything's going to go topsy-turvy. No, scandals have a tendency to come out during Venus retrograde. Also, hidden love affairs have a tendency to come out during Venus retrograde. So just be aware of that. Venus retrograde can also bring back old loves, old flames, old passions, old relationships. They don't have to be love affairs, but they can be old relationships that are made anew, like newfound comfort. Yeah, there's new comfort found in them, okay? And it lets us move forward. We move past old wounds and we move forward in our grace, in what we love and what we want in our relationships and in ourselves. It is time to rediscover our individuality and our self-worth. It is time to reconnect with what is in our hearts and get back in touch with our passion in life. Our world, as Spirit said earlier, it's becoming small. It doesn't mean it's becoming insignificant. And it doesn't mean that it's like close the shutters, lock the doors type of small. It's becoming focused on us in a very beautiful way, in an honoring, very spiritual way. Okay, Venus retrograde was last in Leo, because this is a Venus retrograde in Leo, 8 years ago. So this Venus retrograde, try to think back, like, where were you in your life 8 years ago? What was going on? Because we can feel energetically like mirrorings in this. There is a sense of breaking forward and breaking free during this time. This can also really affect our spending habits, this Venus retrograde, especially with it being in Leo. We want to feel seen and we want to feel validated. I'm just seeing during this Venus retrograde, high ticket items being very enticing towards us. We want, we want the luxury of it. We want the esteem of it. So just be aware of that. But also know that we want that in our relationships. This has a way of altering our relationships with beauty, with fashion, with artistry in general. Just that sense of being seen and being validated, but also making a big statement and having people know our worth. It's going to be really important for us to know our worth. Everybody else, it doesn't really matter, even though it does during this time especially. We're looking at the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The Queen of Cups is saying, embrace your heart, embrace what you love, move forward in love. This is very much a caregiving, nurturing, compassionate, loving energy coming forward. Now, for some of us, we could have enough of that. We could be like, listen, I don't want to take care of anybody, anything else. This is a time for us to take care of our own hearts, what we desire within our lives, the love that we need to move forward. But also in relationships, we're going to find that we're a little bit more drawn to people who are compassionate, people who are kind, people who listen, who validate us. We can find that before we might have been following a pattern of not being listened to, not being validated, of not being in really good relationships. Okay, if we are in a relationship, we are finding that we are connecting on a whole different level. Okay, we're becoming much more aware of our partner, much more loving, much more compassionate to ourselves, and therefore to the people in our sphere of being. And that's going to be a very big thing. But there's a huge shift coming forward. There's also a sense of releasing a lot of anger held in our liver. We can, tap our tailbone just like this, tap our kidneys also just like this, to release any anger, any frustration, any negativity that we're holding. This is also a time where, even though it's scary, Gemini, this is a time to connect with our heart, to embrace what we love, to say I love you to yourself, but I love you to others as well. No matter it has to be an appropriate relationship to say I love you to them, but no matter if it's a romantic relationship or not, letting love guide it forward is going to be so important. We can have a tendency to get a little washed away, swept up in other people's emotions, so just be mindful about that. This is a time where we have to take a leap of faith. We have to take a leap of faith over what we desire, over our passion, over our creativity, our individuality, letting ourselves shine forward, also embracing our connection with the spirit world. That's going to be what really, propels us to the next level. So just be aware of that. During this time, there's a real seeking for, I'm just hearing the song, Glory Days. There's a seeking for glory. There's a seeking for going after what we desire. There's almost a sense, especially when we're connecting with people from old, we want to be, like, oh, I have the best of everything, right? But this is a time where we don't need to have the best of everything to be enviable, okay? Or to be powerful, to be beautiful, to be successful. So just know that about yourself, because we're going to look at ourselves and be like, oh my gosh, I still need to do this, I need to do that, I can't possibly connect. But just being you, that's really powerful success. So just be aware of that. This is also a time that we're really connecting with our emotions, with what we want. We're tuning into ourselves more, and we're bravely taking a leap of faith, because we're connecting with our emotions. We're reflecting on our relationships and what we desire, and saying, okay, you know what? It's time. If not now, then when? If not me, then who? Type of deal. With the moon's faces change all the time. And we're going to see that with ourselves. As a Gemini energy, the statement from Plato, all is flux and nothing stays the same, it resonates with us so beautifully. Everything changes. We change, seasons change, life changes. We all change. And we're coming to terms with that. And it could be something big that we're coming to terms with. But there's also a sense of the opening of the third eye, the opening of our passion, our desire, our insight, and our need to move forward. We are going to see wisdom is guiding us more. We're connecting more and more with deeper concentration, deeper insights, deeper ideas, where we're not settling for surface values. We kind of, or not surface values, but surface readings of things. We want to go deeper into it, even though at times we're like totally overwhelmed by the sense of going deeper, diving deeper, going in more and more and more. So just be aware of that. There is also this sense of transformation, intention, finding prosperity, things under the water, like things that have been hidden, starting to come to the surface. And it's like, oh, that's what I was waiting for. Oh, that's how it was supposed to be. Or, oh, that's what it meant. So being aware of that is also going to be super important to us. If we have Pisces in our chart, if we have Pisces energy around us, that energy can work like, it's like a grain of sand getting stuck in an oyster's mouth, right? It can be super annoying, and what happens is that oyster, coats that piece of sand with mucus until it's not as annoying. And that's how a pearl is made. So something that we absolutely value is made to protect a being from an annoyance, a bother. There is something beautiful that is coming forward, that is coming to protect us from something that was completely bothersome, that was completely overwhelming or irritating in our lives. With the Hermit, we're turning deeper. We're turning deeper into ourselves. We're seeing an illumination, an insight. This is a time with our relationships. We say, what do I want? And for a lot of us Geminis, we haven't really asked ourselves that question in a very open, honest, deep way. What do I want? Where do I want to be? How do I want to move forward? What's important to me? We're also going to find that we're shedding an old skin. There's something here where it's like, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. Or I'm not moving forward that way anymore. Or that's just not for me. We're leaving something behind, and we're feeling ourselves transformed. We're also feeling that it's been a long, hard road. It's been a tough journey. It's been overwhelming. It's been intense. It has been a time where, when we started this, we kind of felt like the magician. I always see the Hermit here with his purple robes, very much like the magician who, in this deck, this is the Llewellyn Tarot deck, has these beautiful purple robes. And the Hermit, I see as the magician later on down the road. After you've stood before the altar of your existence, after you've claimed your glory and said, this is what I am, and this is what I'm doing. It's now that you're on that road, now that you're going after it, and it changes you. And what was vibrant and shiny and new becomes worn, and at times tattered and torn, and at times threadbare. It's like, wow, life takes a lot out of us. It does. But it also brings us a heck of a lot forward. We're turning into ourselves. We're connecting with our third eye. We can find that looking at the unseen world becomes more powerful to us than looking at the seen world. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to what we love, when it comes to what we desire, it's like, okay, now I'm moving forward to where I need to be. Now I'm opening up that door. Now I'm seeing me. And I'm seeing my footsteps, my footprints, my desires, my wants. It sounds selfish. It isn't. It's powerful. It's powerful because we're connecting with our hearts and with our passions and with where we want to be in a very real way. But we can also find that we're stepping back a little bit from things, like from being, in the middle of, what I'm seeing is the whirlwind romances we're stepping back from. We don't want that, or even if we do want, that crazy sweep you off your feet, just absolute romantic in love. What we're going to be getting is something quieter, gentler, but a heck of a lot more real, having a heck of a lot more substance to it. Because it sees what the heart desires. It sees, the inside of things, not just what we're presenting forward. And it brings us then to the sleepers reverse. It brings us to a vibrant part of ourselves and a powerful part of ourselves. It isn't quite awakening yet. And that's okay. So just be aware of that. That we're going to think, this is a time where everything's going to change and I'm going to move forward and it's going to be a completely new me, and it can. But there's a vibrant part of ourselves that is still awaiting to awaken. And so be kind with that. Be kind with that discovery, with that insight, with these ideas here. Be kind with the fact that there's a part of you that's still coming to the surface. And you know it, you feel it. You feel it. It's like, I haven't fully scratched the surface of everywhere I need to be and everything I need to do. And it's coming. And when it comes, man, will it be like a tidal wave, but in the best possible way. With judgment reversed, it's connecting with your inner self. It's also not judging. It's not looking at things and saying shouldas, couldas, wouldas. Even with relationships, even with people, you will find that you're talking to people who you wouldn't normally talk to. You're curious about things you wouldn't normally be curious about. You're opening up doors in ways that just seem like, oh, I never would have done this before, or I wouldn't normally, go here or do this or do that. Not in a putting ourselves in a dangerous situation type of way, but in a way of, I'm going to try new things. I'm going to open my world to me, and I'm going to do so, powerfully, lovingly, connectedly with myself, in a sense of, I get to live this life. So when Spirit says our world becomes smaller, it's that we're not worried about everyone else and everything else. We're worried about connecting with our heart, connecting with what we love, letting ourselves shine forward, and doing so in just a brilliant, authentic, powerful way. This Venus retrograde is going to change so much for us. It's going to move us forward in ways that we've never expected, and it's going to be deeply linked from the time frame of July 22nd to September 3rd. It's going to be deeply linked with this Venus retrograde, with the sense of your heart talking with you out loud, powerfully talking with you, well, out loud, but in your head, talking with you, Gemini, and having you connect with it in ways that seem just amazing, absolutely amazing. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, when we're told to be mindful of the Nine of Pentacles, it's be mindful of the fact that just like the Six of Cups, we have a tendency during this time to either live in the past or live in the future. And Spirit's going to want us, and Spirit wants us to live in the right now. Not in the past, not in the future, right here, right now. Our subconscious Spirit message is peace. Move forward in what promotes peace in your life. Move forward in peace, in harmony, in love, in connection. Move forward in peace. However you view peace, however peace manifests in your existence, embrace that peace and move forward in it. But ask yourself, what is peace to me? Our subconscious tarot message is the King of Cups. Guys, this is a soulmate connection, a true love connection of the heart entities, the heart couple in the tarot. Oh my gosh. This is huge. If you're not in a relationship, you can be meeting your soulmate, okay? Or things are setting up for you to meet your soulmate. If you are in a relationship, you're connecting more deeply with your soulmate. This is a time when, this is subconscious, right? The King of Cups. This energy, you might not know it, but you're connecting more deeply with your soulmate. If you're not in a relationship, you're putting out those vibes. The energy is moving you forward with everything that you're doing, the transformation, the internal awakening. It's putting out energy here for your soulmate to come forward. This is soulmate time. Soulmate time. Oh my gosh, that's exciting, Gemini. Okay. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this Venus retrograde and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.